Tell your neighbor that difficult times, challenging times are not a proof of the absence of God. And good times, enjoying moments are not also a proof of the presence of God. So going through certain seasons of difficulties, hardships, nothing seems to work. It is not a proof that God is absent. It might not even be a proof that maybe you've done something wrong. No, not necessarily. You don't need to just say you have done nothing wrong. But the reason why things were going wrong was because you were doing something right. So sometimes the reason why things will now go wrong will be because you are doing things right. Battles around destinies, battles around assignments. So then Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. So he wasn't a man that God was not with. The things he went through is not a depiction, that is not a proof of the absence of God. Ask your neighbor, what is your definition of God being with you? What is your own definition of God being with you? Because some of us, if we are Joseph, we will not be there when the time comes for the prophecy to come to pass. You would have left, and the angel will not come and look for you where you went to. He will look for you where you are not. When God came to look for Adam, he was looking for him where he should have been. He didn't go to where he was. He came to stand at where Adam was supposed to be at that time. Adam, where are you? What are you doing here? I said, ask your neighbor. I want the person to answer him. What is your definition of God being with you? To you, it means the good life, the American dream. So to you, God being with you means what? The good life. As much as that may be part of it, but it might not always be the case. Because the part that it might take you to enter into the will of God, that part might be different. When you come to the New Testament, there was a time that Paul was supposed to come to Jerusalem. So what happened was that Paul was arrested somewhere. It was on that journey that a viper even beat him. In Acts chapter 28, a viper beat him. But before then, he was arrested and beaten. And then he was arraigned before kings. And God said that, I wanted you to meet all of those kings. So the reason why they arrested him, beat you, and then put you in prison. So from one prison to another, that's how he was meeting the kings. Your destiny helper may be in prison. So how will you meet him? So if you meet your destiny helper at receipt, the person that you will need 10 years to come, it will take receipt to now meet the person. I won't continue. So Joseph was so blessed, but within that time that things were picking up, that he would have probably stayed there and not continued. Maybe God even came and said, go. He showed him a different path. He said, no, I'm not going anywhere. And God said, if you go, no problem, but you will find yourself there. So Potiphar's wife now showed up. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. But the Lord, tell your neighbor, read it. Tell your neighbor, are you reading? It says what? But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison. Location is not what determined if this with you. US is not what determined that. US is not what is determined that God is with you or God is not with you. And Theobodom does not mean God is upset. That's not what is determining. This is the man that is entering into prison, and he said that, but the Lord was with Joseph and showed him what? Mercy, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prisoner. Why didn't he give him favor before Potiphar, that he will not be cast into prison? You are not even the one to determine where and when God will show favor. There's a wicked lecturer that will stop you. You pray, he will still stop you. He will still say, I won't give you. Report it, and your prayer will now facilitate it. Because maybe at that moment, the focus of God is your faithfulness, your ability to say no. And God himself will now fix. You might not even need that certificate. Probably. I'm not saying in every situation. I mean, God has different ways. But at that moment, what he's looking for probably is just your faithfulness. Because he's bigger than all of that. So, God showed him favor. Daniel's when he was cast into prison, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were cast into fire. Furnace. Not just a fire. Great fire. I'm trying to draw your attention that the favor God showed him, God will show him favor. But that favor did not cumulate to mean that Potiphar will say, oh, okay, you will favor you. God could have still done that if he wanted to. But by his wisdom, that time was not the right time for him to show that kind of favor. Because it is to lead him somewhere. The prison he came, he was supposed to be there. Because if he misses the prison, if God's wisdom looked at it and thought that this is the path, that means if probably he missed the prison, it would have been something else. Either the journey can be long, but God always chooses probably the shortest. If you read the scriptures, it's we that choose the long because we like the easy one. The easy one is always long. In Exodus chapter 13 verse 17, right, it says that, and it came to pass that when God had brought the children of Israel out of what? Egypt, that he took them not through the what? The way of the wilderness, although that was near. God wanted to take them through that part. But rather, he took a different path because they began to complain and say many things, and God found out that he said, if I take them through this path that I want to take them, they will turn back. Their feet cannot contain it. It will be too hard for them. Just imagine everything seems to scatter around you. But that is the way of warfare. Warfare comes with many things. Because when you attempt to push through certain layers of darkness, they are not going to watch you. But the shortcut is actually warfare. The shortcut is warfare and battles. It is the shortcut, but not many people. The shortcut is the way of faith. It says, and it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war. When they see what? War. And they return to Egypt. He knew that these people have the ability to return to Egypt when they see war. But when God actually wanted to take them through that part, because it was going to take only 40 days from Egypt to the promised land. By 40 days they will be there. You know how long they got there? 40 years.